Jack to sit back and watch this final game after working so hard for a couple of days to get his team here.
Ma'a with the first service in the finals. And Klusman goes down the line wide. It's Speedo's point.
Well, Klusman's working against that big block of Pono Ma'a, and Pono's been having a great time with this four-man format all year.
I think it's great. It's got a lot of action. We got the big guys, got the little guys, a lot of blocking, a lot of hitting. It's kind of hard on us outside because we got this huge block out there. But other than that, I'm having a good time. I hope the league does well and goes on because I want to be involved for next year. And I thank the sponsors for all the things they've done. I'm fired up. I think it's a great league.
Well, John Lee, they got the big guys and the little guys. We're all fired up. We got you and me, big guy and the little guy. Ma'a serves 1-0. Ooh, Williams working for the side out.
Well, there's a little guy who plays like a big guy, Duffy. Jeff Williams outside against a good two-man block, just gets it right between the hitters, hitting the seam. That's the seam right between the two blockers' arms, off the tape and down.
And there's Jeff Williams at the service line, UCLA Bruin, member of the U.S. national team. Oh, a great look at Stetson moving the ball to Ma'a, and Ma'a getting the side out.
And Ma'a is fired up. He hammers seam as well. And if that middle blocker is late getting to the outside, that's probably the first spot that a good outside hitter is looking for. Stetson with a nice four-set to the outside, and the hole filled by Pono Ma'a's offense.
Billy Stetson, the setter for Team Speedo. Williams keeps the ball alive, but Stork can't. That is another point for Team Speedo.
And there we saw Pono Ma'a helping out Partee in the middle against big Mark Miller. Mark Miller's been the put-away man throughout this tournament for club, and that time two blockers up on him. Nice energetic blocking by Speedo.
Oh, and Stork goes quickly on that tight pass for the side out, John.
But when those blockers get a little too feisty up there, Stork, with that left-handed attack, can really keep the back row players honest by going up there and threatening with that left-handed attack. They've got basically four hitters when they get a nice pass up there at the net, and Stork makes the other team pay.
Team Speedo has been making Jeff Stork pay as they've jumped out to that 0-2 lead. And Miller intrudes. One of the great things about club sportswear, they have played so well, making few mistakes.
Well, what we do well, I think, is everybody does their own little thing. We ask Millie to control the net a little bit, getting blocks and a couple kills. Willie to play a good defense, and Klusman and I just to do kind of like everything, really. And we don't have that many weak spots, I don't think. It's just play our own game, I think.
They have been playing a great game of their own. Koch puts the ball in play. Klusman is blocked by Pono Ma'a.
Klusman one-on-one that time, but really an energetic Pono Ma'a. Where's he getting all this energy? He's up and just stuffs that one-on-one set back to the cross court. Reaches to the angle with really a nice, strong, penetrating block by Ma'a, and now he celebrates.
Koch serves 3-0, and John Lee, it sounds to me like you keep expecting Speedo to wilt.
Ooh, there we saw Ma'a trying to help out in the middle, leaving Andy Klusman all alone on the outside. And Pono's trying to take away the middle attack by Mark Miller. That time, Klusman just took advantage of that naked net and delivered down the line. And there may be a degree of wilting going on, but we certainly haven't seen it yet. And remember, they've got a new addition to their lineup who's not tired, Andreas Koch. And Koch with a good eye right there calls out, 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 and lets the ball go long. So we'll see just how much energy Speedo has left to answer club.
Well, John Lee, one question I have is Andreas Koch ready to go? Is he warmed up?
Well, as you see, it's 90 degrees and 90% humidity. It doesn't take too long to warm up, but the question is, can he integrate with this lineup? He's been on the Laguna team that has been to the finals every single time that he's been playing for them during the course of the season. So he's a veteran performer and in great shape, and we'll see if he's warmed up or not.
Klusman warming up against Partee on the block, and Andy Klusman is good for the side out. Stork will serve. Andreas Koch. And here comes Pono Ma'a. He hits long.
Well, Pono with two big blockers up there that time tried to work it down the line. And here's the man that might be getting a little bit tired, Pono, who's been carrying a heavy burden all day long today. You see the outside approach. He goes up, tries to hit that line. It was the right selection, but just a little bit long.
And Club Sportswear is finally on the board. Ma'a is not smiling. Stork serves 1-3. Billy Stetson goes to Doug Partee in the middle for the side out.
And an excellent pass by Andreas Koch enabled Stetson to use Partee in the middle. And Koch has been a great passer both for Team Laguna and now today for Speedo. And that's what he can really provide for this team. He's got to fill in the shoes that were recently vacated by Hinton. And Hinton was doing some great job passing as well. So there's Andreas Koch up to this challenge, it looks like.
3 serves 1. Miller. John Lee, that was not a great National Finals play.
Well, miscues on both sides after the dig. Andreas Koch, who's used to being a left side player, didn't step in and set the ball from the right side. He's used to backing off and getting a swing at the ball. That time, a right side player would have to penetrate and set that free ball, and Andreas didn't answer the call on that one.
Stetson signaling the 1 or 5 if he gets the good pass. He goes outside to Ma'a. Williams keeps it alive. And Williams gets the line shot. It will be a side change in the finals. Jeff Williams scoring. Team Club Sportswear is in it. Our score, Team Club is 2 and Team Speedo 3. Back to South Carolina. Go ahead, John Lee. What kind of duck is that? It's certainly a water duck.
It's a New Guinea mallard.
It's not. At the service line is Andy Klusman, 2 serves 3. And Partee works. Williams with the up. Stork with the kill.
And there again is the threat that Jeff Stork brings to the net. That dig by Williams, close enough to the net for Jeff Stork to go up there and take a swing at with that left hand. Good for a point.
3 straight points for Team Club. Andy Klusman will serve 3s.
He's putting that ball up in the air to let the wind buff it about. See if they can pass that ball.
Ma'a keeps the ball in play and works from the outside. Good for the side out.
There's Pono working against 2 big blockers. A nice swing. That time just power was the answer. Just hammered high off the hands and it went to the floor. We saw Jeff Williams setting the ball outside to Jeff Stork, who now is an outside attacker. And a nice block. Pono plays it and gets the outside set from Stetson. And there we heard Pono talking about all the work he has to do against that big double block. Well, there he is digging and swinging both in the same play, and it is grueling.
Doug Partee serves 3s. Andy serves just long. Team Speedo has had an up and down year, but here at the end of the season, it's looking up.
We've come together ever since we picked up Jack. We started playing better, Jack Hinton, and starting down in Fort Myers, we put it all together that weekend and ended up winning it. And now we've kind of carried over, and we're still playing well. And as long as we scrap up balls, we got to make sure we make the little plays to win, because we don't do any one thing especially well, but we do all the little things well.
Doug must sorely miss Jack Hinton at this time. Koch has stepped in. I know Hinton really wanted to play this game. Ma'a off the block, and Stork can't dig the ball.
Not too hot to handle. And there we saw Andreas Koch, who's playing on the right side. As I said, he's used to playing the left side. That time he hit a little X play. The ball went down inside the block, and then he said, set the left side, set to Pono, and it turns out to be a good idea.
Pono serving for Speedo. 3-3.
There goes that combination play. The ball picked up and then batted back over the net, but there was a little X play. Andreas moving a little more to the middle instead of from the right side, and I'm sure he'd prefer that set.
Ma'a serves the 3s, and he goes wide on his service.
Trying for kind of a baby jump serve on that one, just a little topspin serve, just carried out of bounds in the wind.
Well, John, you talked about the X play. Andreas Koch, is he able just to jump right in for Team Speedo and work the plays?
Well, it's tough. Precision is one of the advantages that this club team has. They have the same personnel every single week, and it's really been to their advantage. And a new element in anybody's lineup is going to create some difficulties.
A great dig by Jeff Williams, and Team Club Sportswear will now serve 4-3.
Okay, there's Koch, and any questions about being warmed up are answered. Look at the sweat dripping off his chin. He's up to try and block that ball. The hit goes nice and deep, a dig. Pono with an attempted up and not quite able to get it over the net as Andreas Koch.
Team Club has scored 4 consecutive points, and Team Speedo has to take a timeout. Well, we get a chance to look at some of the nicknames on the tour. Mine is Duffy. Your last name is Lee. Troy Tanner, T2, the Terminator.
Well, I like that alliteration and a nice literary image.
Willie and Millie, Mark Miller and Jeff Williams. And Billy Stetson is the doctor.
With nice hands. And there's Jim Nichols, Mr. Horizontal, because he's splayed out in the sand virtually all the time.
Steve Rotman got the name Rot Dog in college. And Mike Fitzgerald, he's the Bionic Man. Why, John Lee?
He wears shoes, knee braces, and he has to be virtually rebuilt at the end of each match.
I asked him one time when he was rolling athletic tape around his knee what he was doing. He says, well, I'm holding my kneecap in place. And that's how he got the name the Bionic Man, as Ma'a gets the deep line.
Well, there's a man who's put together himself, Pono Ma'a, with a nice shot that time to the deep corner and down.
To the back line.
Billy Stetson will serve. The doctor. Nicknames. There's Willie.
With another nice little touch shot. He had 2 blockers up there, and instead of challenge him with a big arm swing, just a nice little wrist tap back to the line, and it went down right in front of Bill Stetson.
Ma'a again going down the line, working against Klusman alone.
Yeah, 1 up. You heard the call, and when a hitter goes up and knows that he's only got 1 blocker, he can swing away a little bit more freely. And that time, I think it was Partee called out 1 up, and bang, that's the answer.
Andreas Koch serving. 3 serving 4.
Andreas Koch at the service line, serving 3-4. Stork back sets Klusman, and he's good with the side out.
Well, Klusman is good because Stork is good. That time, Stork had both blockers going up in the middle, and again got Klusman outside with no blocker up at all. They were kind of stumbling over themselves by the time they figured out where Stork was setting.
Klusman goes with the sky ball, gives him a chance to scramble to the net, also push the defense back, and there was trouble. Point opportunity for Miller, and he converts.
Okay, there's Miller. He was a little in front of the ball, reached back, and in this 4-man format, there is nobody protecting the corners, and just made a nice little fist shot back to the corner. We'll see the set just a little bit behind him, and just a nice little snap back to that unguarded cross-court corner.
John Lee, does he know that's open when he's back there reaching for the ball?
Well, he knows that one of the corners is going to be open, and if he's looking back, he might have to make a guess. But, you know, that's a nice target area for any middle hitter, is back to that corner.
Ma'a slams the side out. They had no problem with Klusman's sky ball that time.
Now you know why.
Right through the seam in the block, splitting the blockers, and Ma'a been getting a lot of mileage off of that seam hit all through this tournament. Look, they've got to dry the ball off in between points because everybody's sweating so freely in this humidity. That ball can slip right through the setter's hands if it's not well manicured.
Oh, and Mark Miller just blast in the middle.
Well, with some raw kaboom that time. And Jeff Stork's got these blockers guessing. That time just went to big Mark Miller, who hit the ball off of that middle blocker's hands. Now, Stork's making the decision of who to set that time. That time, Miller had a little bit of jump on Ma'a, and Pono got there a little late. Too late to stop Mark Miller.
Mark Miller will serve. 5 serving 3. Stetson went back to Andreas Koch, and Koch gets the side out.
Well, Koch happy about every put away. That time he's on the right side, and that's a big difference once you've been playing left side. Remember, there's no rotation here, so players are often finding themselves in the exact same position all day. And in Andreas' case, for several weeks in a row, he's been playing only the left side. So when he gets out on the right, it presents a little bit different target for him. We see he's blocking the left side on the other side of the court now.
Billy Stetson with a grade up. Koch keeps it alive. Stetson digs it out of the apparatus, and Andreas Koch is good for the point deep.
Well, there's Koch back home on his more traditional left side position, gets to that inside set, and just with a nice knuckler over the top. That's a great shot with that knuckle. He can go either short or deep with that ball. And we'll see, there's Koch off to the right side of the screen, making that dig. Stetson diving off the court to get that bump set up there to Andreas. A nice knuckle right to the deep, unguarded middle.
To the warning track goes Andreas Koch. And Pono Ma'a will serve 4, serving 5.
Watch it!
Great look at a back set from Stork, and a great up by Billy Stetson. And we are now tied at 5. Team Speedo is not giving up. They gave up 3 unanswered points, 4 unanswered points, and then came back for 2 of their own. We're tied at 5s in the national finals here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Tied at 5s.
There's Pono. He's saying something to that ball, giving it some directions.
He gave it the wrong directions. Take a left, please.
Well, the cross-court direction was ill-advised that time. He's just trying to get it in with a little top spin and taking it a little too sharp several times.
Andy Klusman at the service line. A lot of all-around athletes here. Klusman and Team Club Sportswear have been playing a lot of golf in Myrtle Beach, as everybody else does. Oh, and Koch keeps the ball alive. Stetson works to Pono Ma'a. Williams with an overhand dig. It's still up. Now it's not. It goes wide, and it will be 6-5.
Well, what a great rally. That time, unfortunately, it was decided by poor communication on the Speedo team, and that's where having a new member on your team might complicate things a little bit. Andreas Koch went for the same ball Doug Partee was going for. Either of them probably could have had it. Great rally, though, and great intensity by both squads. There's a great block. Should have been a stuff block, but they're backing up their hitters real well. Either one of those men on the sand right there could have picked it up.
Partee and Andreas Koch trying to dig the same ball. The best golfer on the tour? Well, I think it's a tie between a real tall guy, Mike Blanchard of Team Spike Line Shots, and a real short guy, Craig Elledge of CE Sports. Both take their clubs on the tour.
Well, that club serve was just a little bit long, and Andreas Koch goes back there to put it back in play.
And that was a great serve. Klusman had to scramble. Oh, he's blocked, unable to pick up the block.
Well, on that tight set, that time Klusman just tried to take it easy. Didn't try to hit it too hard. Just tried to go off the block, but Mark Miller wasn't quite ready to back him up and bring that ball back up and into play. We see that it's a pretty tight set. Klusman, not really ready to get it. He has to jump up out of the sand, and that tight ball is tough for him to get to. Tries to take it easy, but people are just watching that ball land, unable to bring it up.
We are tied at 6s. Williams hitting from the outside. Ma'a with the dig. And Pono Ma'a makes it 7-6 as he works off the double block. Team Speedo has answered the call here in the finals. They seem to be holding up very well, and Team Club Sportswear takes a timeout. It's Team Speedo 7 and Team Club Sportswear 6 here at the beautiful Kingston Plantation, the Radisson Resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.